Hello, one and all. Pyrrhus of Epirus here. Another video, just sort of casually having a blur with some different warlords. Today I thought I'd give, this geezer a go. I did say that this guy was quite important in my last video. So let's look at Garro. This is what I've got. Lots and lots, as you can see from my curve, lots and lots of ones and twos and threes, and then sort of topping it off with a few bigger creatures. It was reasonably successful. I mean, I've only played a few games with it. It's fun. I think that's the big thing. It's really stupidly fun. And like, I did get this guy off. I did then immediately die, but I got him off. I summoned a Slayer of Words. So yeah, but so this guy's really, really good in here. Nurglings are just invaluable. Yu-Gi-Oh's just quite good. I mean, Zagart's always a staple. Actually, what I found was McCormick's were pretty amazing. Actually, just their ability just to come back over and over again. I never got a chance to use this guy, and I feel like his backlash has a bit of, synergy with Garro, but I didn't get the opportunity to use him. So if you do try him, and he's working or not working, just, put some feedback in the comments. That'd be great. Right. So the namesake's important. Right. What am I doing? Sorry, I would do games, but I really couldn't be bothered. Just time's a bit mad at the moment. So start with this one. I did have a few losses, including to a bot. That's always embarrassing, isn't it? So this first one, Corvus. Nothing wrong with that hand.
I am a legion of one.
No mercy.
So Nathaniel Garro is really interesting.
It has come to this.
Card draw is quite important, but I guess what's more important that you're just so consistently dealing more than 2 damage a turn, wearing them down. Obviously, that's quite a fun card. Although I tend to use creatures first, I guess. So I got my Fassadian out. Just start wearing him down. He starts to get stealth stuff off, and this is one of those decks where you just sort of try to ignore their troops and just punch them in the face repeatedly. I've got an endurance, so if I can survive until turn 5, that guy's a dead one. Put out Dewback, obviously I'm hoping that he'll use something to kill it. No, there we go. So he's quite sensible. Obviously, he's trying to race me down. The lower I get, the less I can attack, the more mana I have to devote to healing. So, all right, let's get this going. So, so turn 4. I imagine I'm going to do what? Yeah, all Death Guard players do on turn 4, which is play Meldon Squad. Oh, first wave. All the Meldon Squads. So my win rate with this was roughly 50-50. If you include the practices, which isn't really a fair sort of inclusion, it was more like 70-30. But that is practice, so you get a lot of people who are sort of trying things out rather than necessarily putting their best decks forward. So this was quite unfortunate for him because he just got this stealth guy out. That guy would have been quite nasty for me on this health. But now I've got equal
By
health,
the Emperor's throne.
Well
3
done.
troops, 7 mana, more than lethal. And there we go. Dear me. Sorry,
Well
I've
done.
not been getting the
Your death,
most
I'll make it
sleep
quick.
recently. And I'm a man of my word. I make his death quick. Quicker than this, anyway. Oh no! There we go. So that was quite a nice turnaround. Like, get them low. Sort of, turn 5, do a clearance, refill your board, smash them in the face. Yeah, we'll do that one. So I was curious how this would go, because obviously he's got a bit of survivability on his troops. Obviously I've got quite a low mana curve, so I can
One.
kind of come out the gates running.
Battle. Cleanse and burn.
So, here come the Nurglings. These guys just do so much legwork. They are a little irritating because the maintenance 1, actually for Garro that's sort of relevant, but yeah, like, but they do allow me to sort of reuse him quite a bit, like proc his ability. So I've got really nice sort of curve of cards in my hand. Like, that guy could be a problem. Like, this was someone I was thinking about. This Salamanders and Numion, he's got a nice bit of wave clear. So I do decide to get rid of it. Which I think, in retrospect was the right call. And I'm still in equal health as well. So that's what I quite like about that guy. Like, he makes he makes Nurglings a threat. But yeah, this is good. Like, he's reacting to me. We're getting to low health really quickly. I've got a nice hand. Those goddamn Nurglings. Obviously, I'm going to Blight Grenade here, do I? Yeah, Blight Grenade. Pow! Oh, such a good card. Oh. So, all intents and purposes, got 11 health. I've got a fairly, low hand size, but quite a lot that I can do with it. Currently got 9 on the board, plus whatever else I can add. So, I've got lethal either way.
Your death, I'll make it quick.
Like, Vengeance is really cool. Like, if he played one of his frontline guys, like I think it's Atok Abidemi, I could have Vengeanced it, use that and then Vengeance, however you want to do it, really. That's the wrong one. And then this one. Perturabo. So, and that's what I quite like about Garro is, he can go toe to toe with some pretty decent decks.
I'm a legion of one.
He has some serious weaknesses, like they're pretty niche, but like Caleb Decima, for example. Ugh, what are you meant to do against that Alpha Legion? Like, he's like worse than useless. But he is so much fun. I do wonder, actually. I'll show you the Caleb Decima one if I have time. It was actually pretty good fun, and it shows that even with like someone just stopping him, this could be a pretty decent deck. I don't know. I do wonder with Garro. I'm never sure, like, if I've splashed too much in the low cost and I've not put enough sort of finishes out. So again, if your decks are different, if you want to share anything, put them in the comments. So I think at the beginning of this one I messed up. I didn't like attack and then play my guy. I like played my guy and then attacked. You know, impatient me. So, you know, this is pretty bad already for me. Like, I'm on 12 health, he's on 23. Like, that's not great. But I'm going to hunt for some answers, you know. And this is pretty beautiful. I actually quite like this. Top deck into this. Smash him for 5. Take it to 16. Another 8 damage. 10 damage. So, like, all of a sudden, it's looking really bad for him with my cards in hand. And he can
It has
use
come to
Contrador
this.
and he can't kill me, or he can use his ability and he can't kill me because he's got 5 mana. 5 energy, sorry. Like, it's so brutal. Like, either way, I think he takes me to 1 health, no matter what he does. It's horrible. That was a lot of fun. Do I go on more? Yeah, like, so this next one's a loss, so, you know, feel free to, if you don't want to see it. But actually, I think this is a pretty good example of why Garro's quite cool, because he really goes, I mean, don't get me wrong, Decima's not incredible, but he goes toe-to-toe with a guy who literally just nerfs his ability. So, it is good. Alright. So, I'm looking at Vengeance going, I'm not going to use that.
A legion of one.
So if you don't know Caleb Decima, he's really cool. He's not like super pro, but like stun and deal 1 damage to enemy warlord. Bye, Garro! Like, there's no way that Nathaniel deals with this. But you know, like, I've got Zagot squad, so. And the thing about Caleb as well is he doesn't tend to have too much heal, and he doesn't tend to have too much, like, in terms of the early game, which is where I'm pushing, he doesn't tend to have, like, too much that's incredible. So, you know, I'm not too worried. By the way, we're watching this purely for the Slayer. Like, Slayer of Worlds is coming, I'm just telling you now. And it's so good. It's so great. So, oh, and another shout out as well. Like, this is where this guy really comes into his own here. Like, he's just so relevant in this game. And, like, this is where I think you can be quite good. For 3 and 4 energy, you've got these 4 power, 2 hit, like, average taking things that, you know, just can dish out usually 4 damage to either someone with frontline or to the enemy warlord. And you do that, and all of a sudden that's such a threat. Like, he needs to deal with that now, because he doesn't want to take another 5 damage. Now, I thought he was going to do that. And it's interesting, because he plays this, and it doesn't really bother me too much. Like, it makes me make choices, but it's not, like, debilitating. So there he is. There's my boy. Yeah, Nurgling's just so good. Like, I've got 5 mana. I can blight him, get out a Nurgling again. He doesn't proc this, but it's this little annoying niggling nom, 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 nom. It's just sitting there, like, irritating the shit out of this guy. Look at that. Look at that. My boy's getting low. I probably did misplay at some point. Interestingly, I could have not done that and then done Zagat next turn instead, and that would have been more efficient. But I didn't. You live and you learn. You know, I still get that out, and like, you know, I'm expecting at least like 3 things to die this turn, which means that Slayer of Worlds is going to get a lot cheaper. So I mean, part of the reason I lost was that I didn't really do any maths. Also, I love this Grampy Trampy. What a name! Now I do wonder here if I just vengeanced. Would I have won? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I probably would have still lost. Especially if I'd attacked again. 2 down to 5. Yeah, and I couldn't have cut through that, so it was the right call. So it's a bit of a shame, really. As you can see, he's got lethal. Yeah, I'm just trying to get that Slayer of Wills cheap so I can play him out. So I do that. As you can see, I've lost. But I have a Slayer of Worlds!
So, it has come to this.
And I think the key thing is that, like, I took Caleb Decima down to basically, you know, a kill me or kill you situation. And, you know, in 8 turns, and I didn't even get to use Garro. Like, I mean, if he couldn't stun me, I would have been fine. I mean, I do wonder if perhaps in this deck, like a niche, like counter could be this. I mean, like, I don't know what to take out for it, because really it's a bit jank. Like, maybe a one-off, you know? Like, get rid of a Meldon squad. You know? This, you know, interesting curve. I mean, perhaps I could get rid of Ignatius. Or even Slayer of Worlds. Like, I mean, I put Slayer of Worlds because he's really fun. It might actually be better to play Father Decay. Yeah, play Father Decay, man. Because you play him, and then, I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got like cheaper stuff, but you can just put in a random troop that played for 2. They're playing big creatures or things from front line, even things with, you know, fast. Like that could nail it. But yeah, so I mean, perhaps, you know, take out Ignatius for a remove stun, or even a Pi Alpha. You know, Pi Alpha's probably just better. Slayer of Worlds for Father Decay. Happy days. So obviously, as per my last video, this is the guy. This is the Warlord. Oh, so tired. Right. Happy days. Power's out.